If you thought episode 3 of Blood of My Blood pushed the boundaries of drama, emotion, and politics, trust me, episode 4 is about to take things to an entirely new level. In the third episode, we saw the power of mothers, their courage, their resilience, their ability to hold families together even when the men around them falter. But the next chapter shifts the spotlight. This time, it's about the fathers. Their ambitions, their mistakes, and their decisions will ripple through the story, shaping Ellen's fate, Brian's choices, and even Julia's survival. Episode 3 wasted no time diving straight into Ellen's inner world. It opened with her dream, a moment that made it crystal clear just how deeply she desires Brian. He isn't just someone she's fond of, he is the one man she craves with every part of her being. And yet, while her heart beats his name, reality has no room for her happiness. As soon as she wakes, she discovers the crushing truth. She's been promised to Malcolm Grant. This arrangement isn't about love, passion, or even respect. It's about politics. Callum, her older brother, delivers the news with a coldness that stings more than any slap. He makes it clear. The promises of their father died with him, and so did Ellen's right to choose her own life. In his eyes, her marriage is nothing more than a transaction, a deal to strengthen the clan. His calm, almost icy tone reveals just how willing he is to sacrifice her happiness for political gain. And honestly, it's infuriating. Callum, with his calculated mind, doesn't come across as cruel in the way a villain might, but his ability to dismiss Ellen's pain so easily makes him just as dangerous. Dougal, by contrast, carries a slightly softer heart. He's not blind to Ellen's feelings, but he's a man who bends to the will of politics as well. He's pragmatic, always measuring what will benefit the clan and their alliances. That practicality makes him dangerous in a different way. Even if he sympathizes with Ellen, he still prioritizes duty over her desires. And this is where the heartbreaking conflict comes to life, the clash between personal longing and the suffocating chains of responsibility. The episode used flashbacks to deepen this tension, and though flashbacks can sometimes feel overdone, here they worked like magic. We were pulled into Ellen's memories, watching the time when her brothers stumbled, and she was the one who rose to save them. The cattle raid sequence stood out, a dangerous, reckless adventure that ended in disaster when Callum was thrown from his horse, leaving him permanently injured. Dougal's attempt to intervene only worsened matters, and their father Jacob's wrath was merciless. Ellen, however, was different. She was the one with the clarity, the one with the quick thinking, the one with the bravery to stand between her brothers and their father's rage. It's through these memories that we see the foundation of Ellen's strength. Her intelligence isn't a trait she grew into. It's something she always had, even when she was younger. And this explains why, by the time the oath ceremony arrives in the present, Ellen is able to maneuver with such skill. She isn't just reacting, she's strategizing. With a mix of careful words and subtle influence, she stabilizes the clan's fragile unity. Her siblings may not admit it out loud, but even Janet sees the truth. "You've managed it artfully, as Daw would have," she tells Ellen. It's a line that cements Ellen's place, not just as a sister or daughter, but as the true heir to Jacob's sharp mind. But strategy has its limits. Wit and intellect can't erase the reality of an arranged marriage. And so, Ellen does what so many women of her time were forced to do. She hides her true feelings. She wears a mask of gratitude whenever her fiancé appears, pretending to be pleased while her heart breaks inside. This duplicity sets the stage for the storm that's about to break in episode 4. In the next chapter, Ellen's struggle only deepens. Fate throws Brian back into her path, and her desire for him grows impossible to conceal. Every stolen glance, every restrained moment of longing, pulls them closer together. But here's where things twist. Ellen uncovers a dangerous secret about the Grant family, the very people she is expected to marry into. This secret could become her leverage, her one chance to wriggle free from the chains tightening around her. But she's not the only one scheming. Simon, Brian's father, is playing a darker game. Determined to stop Ellen's marriage, he devises a plan to ruin her reputation completely. If he succeeds, Ellen could lose everything: her standing, her future, her safety. And while Simon weaves his trap, the castle itself becomes a prison, her brothers enforcing rules that suffocate her every move. This is where Brian shines. Unlike Murdo, who looks at Simon's scheme and sees an opening for himself, Brian's heart belongs entirely to Ellen. His frustration with his father is raw, his protectiveness undeniable. And yet, Brian isn't reckless. He loves Ellen so much that he'd rather see her in another man's arms than hurt her himself. That kind of sacrifice, that willingness to place her well-being above his own happiness, shows the depth of his love. In episode 4, his transformation from admirer to hero begins. He warns Ellen of Simon's plan and tries desperately to help her, even when it puts him in direct conflict with his family. Murdo, meanwhile, reveals his true colors. For episodes, we've felt sympathy for him, this man who also seemed to love Ellen, who seemed betrayed by Brian's closeness with her. But when faced with Simon's schemes, his reaction exposes something childish, almost selfish. He doesn't truly see Ellen as a woman with her own desires. He sees her as an idea, a dream he wants to claim. Watching him clash with Brian's more selfless devotion paints a stark contrast that will no doubt explode in the episodes to come. And while all of this tension plays out, Julia's storyline unfolds in parallel, every bit as gripping and tragic. Trapped in Simon's castle, heavily pregnant and under constant watch, she lives in a nightmare. Dina's cruelty escalates as she pressures Julia to miscarry, while Simon's eyes track her every move. It's a suffocating, brutal reality that makes her feel like the unluckiest woman alive. Imagine time traveling only to find yourself enslaved as a maid in the home of a monster. But Julia isn't without resourcefulness. Driven by desperation, she makes a bold move that shocks even the audience, sneaking into Simon's chambers at night. It's risky, dangerous, and heartbreaking, but it's also her only path to protecting her child. By aligning herself with Simon, she ensures that her baby will survive, recognized as his heir. It's a tragic kind of brilliance, one born not of choice but of survival. Outside the castle, Henry continues his search. By spreading word of Julia's appearance among women in the brothel, he finally gets a glimpse of her. He sees her from afar, his heart breaking at the sight. But he holds back. If he revealed himself, he could put her in even greater danger. So instead, he plots carefully, planning a visit to Simon's castle under the guise of renewing alliances against the Mackenzies. It's a move that might finally bring him closer to saving her, but only if he can outmaneuver Simon. So, while episode 3 gave us the fire, wisdom, and strength of mothers, episode 4 shifts the story's weight onto the fathers, their ambition, their schemes, their failures, and their legacies. Ellen fights to balance love and duty. Brian emerges as her protector. Murdo crumbles under jealousy, and Julia fights like a lioness for her unborn child. The episode promises heartbreak, betrayal, political intrigue, and glimpses of love that refuses to die. And if episode 3 left you shaken, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Episode 4 is where the story sharpens, where the stakes climb higher, and where choices will carve scars that last for generations.